First off, I want to say thank you so much. We hit 1,000 subscribers, actually 1,100 subscribers.
Thank you. You love me. You really love me.
Yes! Yes, bitch! Yes! Yes, bitch! Yes, bitch! Yeah! Whew, shit. Getting old. Can't be doing stuff like that anymore. Alright, back to the video.
All right. We good? Cameraman? Are we good? All right, awesome. I don't know where to even start with this video. How would I do the intro? Got an idea. What's going on, guys? Today is going to be crazy. No, it's not gonna work. What's going on, guys? It's your boy, it's your man, it's your homie, it's your man. Nah, I'm just gonna skip the intros. Let's try this again, Ron. 1, 2, 3. What is going on, everybody? Hope everyone's having a great start to their 2020. The meaning of this video is talk about credit. Since it's the beginning of the year, tax returns are coming around, so I want to make sure that you guys have a little bit of knowledge instead of wasting it on things that you really don't need, like Yeezys, a new phone, or put a down payment on a car you really can't afford the payments for. Pretty much just balling out until May. And then you're just broke. So I'm here to give you advice on stuff that I went through personally, all my trials and errors. That way I can share my experience with you guys on what to do and what not to do. But before we do that, the video is sponsored today by Rip It.
Rip It, the official sponsor. Every single deployment in the Middle East.
Video is not sponsored by Rip It. All right, for one, I want to say thank you for hitting 1,000 subs. That is crazy that I already hit 1,000 subs. You guys actually kind of like my content, like my face. I guess that's a great thing. Yeah, thank you. So today's video is going to be about credit, like I said. So I hit you guys with a few statistics. I know it's kind of boring, but you kind of got to know this before you get into the generalization of why you want good credit. The first one, two, three, Ron. Statistic is the first fact. How about that? We're gonna go with facts. The first fact is the average American has $8,000 in credit card debt. That's crazy. Second fact is 75% of Americans have 700 credit score, right? You might think, hey, that's good. No, it's not good. You want a 720 or higher, especially if you're gonna try to do what I'm doing, and I'll get more on that later. The third fact is 76% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. That means 3 out of 4 people. That means majority of the people that live in your house or your friends live paycheck to paycheck. Why do I still have this pen in my hand? Sorry, ADHD. All right, and the last fact is 76% of Americans don't even have $1,000 in their bank account for emergencies, funerals, lawsuits, illnesses, anything like that. So what does all this mean with credit? I'm not embarrassed to say. I used to be embarrassed, but now that everything's A1 with me, I used to be embarrassed to say that I didn't know what credit was. I'm 31 years old. Give you a little backstory on me. I'm a weapons engineer for the military. I work on weapons. That's why I'm in Afghanistan. So I fly around the world, fix their weapons, go home. I've been making $100,000 since I was 18 years old, right? No one has ever taught me about credit. My mom, my dad, my friends. I was always taught cash was king. So I paid for everything. I've had race cars, I've had motorcycles, I've bought condos, houses, all cash, right? Because at the time doing this, I didn't have any responsibilities. I didn't have a kid. I do have a kid now. I have responsibilities. I did start up my own business because I don't want to work my 9 to 5 anymore. So anyways, let's get into the basics. Fixing your credit. So how would you do that? You wanna get a copy of your credit report, that's exactly what you wanna do. You wanna go through everything that's unruly, false, unfair, or just not yours. There's other companies that, is very fraudulent. This kind of topic, especially on YouTube, is very fragile because a lot of people get ripped off. And I was one of the people that got ripped off. I'm not gonna say any names of the company in Miami. They reassured me that, I got to do X, Y, and Z. They reassured me that yes, majority of these things can be challenged based upon what we looked at through your credit report. Everything that pretty much can be challenged is going to be challenged and it will be deleted. That was awesome. That was great. 7 months goes by. 7 months! 7 months goes by. They give you this little portal, right? They give you a little portal. Let me show you. So what the portal is, they got my derogatory. So you got your auto track, which is a car because I had really shitty credit. So if you guys ever heard of auto track, comment down below if you have any experience with them. Auto track, Verizon, Allied Collections, and all this other Jefferson Capital. If you got issues with any kind of Verizon credit card company, you're gonna have Verizon Wireless and Jefferson Capital. You're gonna, trust me. Anyways, you see all the derogatories on the left-hand side. So they claim that they got all these deleted on the Equifax and Experian, all the green check marks. They didn't. After going with them for months on end and them robbing me of $78 every single month and just giving me that little junk app, it's not real. So that was one thing that I want to make sure that you guys don't do. I'm going to refer you to a company that I've used, that I've trusted. I'm not getting paid by them at all. I'm a customer. I'm still a customer to this day. And I talk to them almost on a regular basis. Called Wholesale TRADELINES. They're out in Jacksonville, Florida. Mike Single's the owner. He's very knowledgeable. I worked with them beginning of September. What happened was a coworker came into my shop and one of my homeboys, he shows me a video. He's like, yo, check this video out. It's this guy saying that he got some kids who's like 22 years old, credit score up 109 points in 30 days. I'm like, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's not true. That can't happen. What happened? I started watching this guy's videos. I fell down the biggest rabbit hole. Watch video after video. He puts out videos 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. One day, I was just like, fuck it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be the guinea pig because my homeboy that showed it to me was like, I wanna get on it too. I was like, let me do it first. I'm gonna post August 25th, before I started with them, my Experian TransUnion score. I was at a 496 at the end of August 25th. I just turned 31 August 19th. $496 credit score at the age of 31, and I make over $100,000 a year. Unacceptable. All right, so I call him, talk to a salesman, I talk to him, tell him I'm over in Afghanistan, I tell him to describe what they do, their proprietary methods, how they go about certain things. I was like, I don't know if this is a scam or not. He started laughing. He's like, we get that all the time. Long story short, I'm like, okay. So he read off some things to me. The one thing that Mike preaches in his videos, depending on, where you're at in your credit, age trumps credit limit, right? So a lot of people, that's what I did the first time. I seen in American Express credit limit $50,000, but American Express, I didn't know at the time, but I've learned they don't report age, right? So if you want utilization, like if your utilization is kind of high, if you're like 70, 80% utilization, you do want to throw American Express $50,000 trade line on there, but it's not going to report any age. So your utilization is going to go down. I want my score to jump up as high as possible. So what do? They told me, get age. So I want both. So I got age and I got $45,000 American Express card trade line on top of it. So I signed up for a Discover card. The card was the trade line was 16 years, 11 months old. Credit limit was $13,400. So they sold me that trade line for $1,168. Now, when I was talking about investing, you have to invest in yourself. Warren Buffett said it himself. People have asked him, what is the best investment you've ever done? Warren Buffett always says, and I used to work for him, I'll put a picture up right there. I used to work for the guy. Nicest guy ever. Warren Buffett always said his best investment was investing in himself, right? So the best way I could tell you guys just to get an idea of investing in yourself is not buying new shoes, not buying new clothes, not buying a car that you can't afford down the road because your job isn't guaranteed. It's investing in yourself. We're all judged by 3 little numbers. It's your credit score. It's short for credibility. They're gonna see how credible you are. I digress. All right, so that was the Discover card, and then the American Express was a $45,000, and they don't report any age, and they sold that to me for $680. That's $1,848. I'm invested in myself. So I bought 2 trade lines that day. Fast forward to around like middle of September, right? I got an alert on my Experian that I had a soft pull on my credit from like AMX. I never had any. This is my first time ever using trade lines. I didn't know anything about it. So I was kind of freaking out, like, did my identity get stolen? Are these people opening credit cards in my name? But I'm like, your credit is complete shit, so how can that be possible? All right, so I'll post a picture up right here. So as you can see, September 29th, my credit score jumped up 23 points. And I was like, that's it? So I went from like a 581, 555 to now I'm 631, 623. All right, so it's not too bad. And then October 7th comes around, I have no updates. Is that it? Is that all that's gonna happen? All right, fast forward to end of October now. So now both trade lines have hit. Now my score jumped up to 658 and then 628, right? So now we're in the fair category. I call again, and right now I do the Credit Elite. Credit Elite program is they delete things off your credit report. Now, the reason why I'm telling you guys this, don't do what I did, right? So if I could take it all back, I would sign up immediately for the Credit Elite program and the Inquiry Removal program. And the reason why I say that is I didn't know this at first, but you wanna get everything delinquent off your credit report first before adding any kind of trade lines, right? So you want a clean slate, right? You want a clean canvas. You don't wanna just paint on a canvas that's already painted. Right? You want a clean, fresh canvas, and then you add the paint, AKA trade lines. Now, for you guys who don't know, I will definition of what trade lines are. I called them, I got another trade line put on. I got a Wells Fargo 13 years, 1 month for $5,800 credit limit. What they charged me? They charged me $1,100. I have now invested in myself $2,948 to repair my credit, to get trade lines put on. After that, my score jumped up, and I'll post a picture right here. My score jumped up to 708, my TransUnion, and then my Equifax still stayed the same at 628. So I was in the 700s. I was happy. I was like, all right, this is perfect. All I need to do is get to a 715, 720. And what I was trying to do at the time is I was trying to buy a Nissan GTR that was completely built and tuned by my buddies in Atlanta called Top Speed, right? It was a 2009 fully built transmission, front and rear diff, turbos, motor, everything. The motherfucker made 1,400 horsepower as a badass street car. And I didn't want to pay cash for it, right? This guy was asking a steal for it in California. Sorry, we couldn't make the deal, I'm sorry. But at the time, my credit, when I was talking to him, was back in August, September region. There's no way I'm getting a loan for that, no matter how much money I made, because when I first started, like talking about credit and stuff like that, I never had a credit card. I've had one bank loan, and that was for a Chevy Trailblazer Extreme, if you guys remember those. That was like back in 2007, 2009. So that wasn't even where like the pinnacle of my credit was gonna go. Remember I told you I enrolled in the Credit Elite program. So what that does is they deleted everything. Right, I'll post a picture up right here. So they deleted every derogatory I had. So they deleted my Jefferson Capital, which is Verizon. They deleted the Verizon Wireless one, and they deleted the AutoTrack. Now what AutoTrack is AutoTrack was a repossession. It was a voluntary repossession, but it was a repossession nonetheless. And everyone knows if you have any kind of repo or like, foreclosure, if you try to get a foreclosure and try to get a house, you have a foreclosure on your credit report, so they're not gonna want to mess with you. Same thing with if you have a repossession. No matter how much money I put down, unless I put down 70%, up front, car dealerships aren't gonna mess with me or loan. So they got the AutoTrack, they got the repossession removed. You see, that's crazy. Okay, here's the best part. You ready? Boom! My credit score went all the way up to a 779. And then a 714 on my Equifax. November 17th, you're talking like middle of September is when my first trade line hit to the middle of November. Nuts. You're talking, what was I? The 555. From the middle of September to the middle of October, my score jumped up 224 points. 224 points. You wanna know how I did it? Got everything derogatory removed from my credit report. I added myself to trade lines, and then I had a few primary accounts. Now I'll touch on primary accounts also. There's different primary accounts, and I highly recommend you need at least 3 primary accounts on top of these trade lines, because when creditors look up your credit report, they're gonna see AUs. What AU means is authorized user, right? So they know you're piggybacking off somebody, but they don't know that you do or don't have a credit card to that, tied to that line of credit. So the 3 primary trade lines that I got that I recommend to you guys that worked for me is, everyone knows My Jewelers Club. So My Jewelers Club is an automatic $5,000 primary trade line. So you go to myjewelersclub.com. I'll leave all the links below. You pay $155. You can choose from, actually I have the earrings in. I actually have the earrings in for My Jewelers. You can buy any kind of jewelry, $155, and they'll automatically put you on as a $5,000 trade line. So that automatically goes on your credit report that you have a primary account for $5,000. Now you only can buy stuff on that website, but if you're only using it for the sole purpose of having $5,000 as a primary on there, then you're good to go. And then I also have Ox Publishing and Hunt and Chase. Hunt and Chase are both $180. It does sound like a lot, but after everything's said and done, with those 3 primaries and then with these AUs on there, I was able to get, are you sitting down? Because I am. I was able to get $80,800 in personal credit with credit cards and open lines of credit. My total investment in myself from start to finish with, that's 3 trade lines, that is 3 primary accounts, so 3 AUs, 3 primaries, and then the Elite Credit Repair. I'm invested in myself $4,263. So my credit score actually jumped up 283 points. So pretty much everyone's probably like, oh my God, you spent $4,200. So anyways, so now I'm gonna paint a perfect picture. So now put yourself in my shoes. I've never had good credit before. We call it white people credit, right? All my homeboys, you got that white people credit now. What do you do when you have a good credit score? Because you're added on to these trade lines, these AUs, so they're only gonna last 90 days. So I had 90 days to figure out what I wanna do. So the first thing I started doing was I started applying for credit. Navy Fed, a government worker, government employee, so I can get a Navy Fed pretty much like that. Navy Fed, any credit union that you have locally is where you guys wanna go to apply for any kind of credit. Open up a checking account, savings account, put $10 to $100 in there. Let it sit there for 2 to 3 weeks. If you have a good credit score, then apply for a credit card. You have to develop some kind of relationship with the business. So I did Capital One. I got two cars from Capital One for $10,000 each. I got a Barclay card, one for $7,000. The other one was for $10,000. I got an Apple card just for shits and giggles. That was for $2,500, and a couple other lines of credit through Navy Fed. That roughly totaled $80,800. I went from having no credit cards, no nothing at the end of August. By the end of November, 6 credit cards and 3 open lines of credit with 3 different banks. Totals up to $80,800 on personal credit alone. So you guys might think, Ron, why do you need all that personal credit? Okay, this is why I'm doing it. This is what I was telling you, you guys gotta have some kind of purpose. So my purpose is, I started my own business. So with me fixing my credit, it helped me open up an LLC, right? Why am I opening up an LLC? Because the business, I'm gonna be buying real estate, buying multifamily homes, because credit repair and multifamily homes or real estate in general, they go hand in hand. You watch anyone that talks about real estate, they're always gonna talk about your credit. always. So started my business, ATM business, and buying real estate. When you first start out a business, it's your baby. It's an infant. You have to grow. You have to nurture it. You have to raise it. You know, for the next 24 months. That's usually when banks will lend you the most. You have 24 months. You show like some kind of tax returns, some kind of accounts with other companies. Show that you have great payment history and so on and so forth. The reason why I wanted perfect credit and have trade lines opened up and get all these credit cards to have all this revolving debt or credit, you want to call it, and my side was because when I go to apply for business credit, they're going to look at a personal guarantor, meaning they want you to personally guarantee that you can manage a business, like business credit, like you manage your personal credit. What that means is when you first start out, they're going to ask for your social and your EIN. Because you're brand new, they're going to know off your EIN. You're going to see when you were established. And then if you're too new, you don't have any accounts with anything, they're going to ask for your personal. So they want a personal guarantor, they want you to personal guarantee. So if they go through your credit report, your personal credit report, and they see that you have great payment history, you have great payment history, you have low utilization, like under 10, 7, under 7. I try to keep mine under 7. You have good age, you have low inquiries, like they will lend you, especially if you're doing real estate. As high as personal credit that I have, with this low utilization, the great payment history I have, and all the open accounts that I have, it looks good to lenders saying that, hey, this guy can manage his personal credit, so I'm pretty sure he can manage a business credit. So they're gonna give me business credit cards. And all the other banks I have, Capital One, the Navy Fed. Navy Fed is number one, but I already have developed relationships with these banks. So they see that I make my payments on time, or I pay all my balances off within the first month. I don't keep a balance running on them. So that develops a good relationship. So when they look through and they use you as a personal guarantor, okay, perfect. He pays all his bills on time, he pays all his cards off, he doesn't let his bills run over to the next month, so on and so forth. We're gonna give him a card. Usually, I don't have one yet. This is why I'm doing a video like this, so you guys can come on this journey with me. I can show you step by step how it works out for me. You guys can kind of mirror what I do and don't do, So that would let them lend you. I mean, rumors are, you can get up to $50,000 to $80,000 first, credit cards or open line of credit through a bank. I mean, what could you do with that? If you just have $80,000 in one line of credit through a bank, through your LLC, what could you do with that? I know what I'm gonna do with it. I'm buying properties. I'm buying assets I'm buying stuff that's gonna make me money. My money is going to make me money. That's the mindset that I'm in 2020. I want my money to make me money. I want my money to come back with more friends, and those friends better be other money, more money. That's all my whole plan. So now you know my plan. I fixed my personal credit. I got a bunch of credit cards, so everything looks good on my side. I opened up my LLC in December, so I have an EIN number now, so I'm good there. So I've been shopping for properties every day. My next step is when I get home to look at these properties and to go get funding. I watch guys like Juan Pablo. I watch Bigger Pockets. In reference of giving myself an idea, get the wheels turning. I'm definitely gonna be working with Juan Pablo on 100% Finance. Put his link down below. You guys go check him out if you're interested in some kind of real estate. Okay, all right, so let's rewind a little bit with what I was saying, trade lines. For you guys who are watching this, you guys don't know what trade lines are. Pretty much trade lines are basically, you're paying someone to put you on their line of credit. You don't wanna have access to their credit limit. You just want it to seem like you do. Right? It's called piggybacking. People ask, what is piggybacking? Piggybacking is the same thing. You're using someone's credit worthiness to look better to lenders. So pretty much the theory is for trade lines or piggybacking, if you want to call it, is to help your credit look favorable to lenders. So you want to look as pretty. You want that pretty credit. You want to look as pretty as you possibly can, so people would loan to you. So if you're like me, I'll use myself as an example. So I made $100,000 a year, but I had collections, I had hospital bills, I had cell phone bills, I had repossessions on my credit report, and I didn't know anything about it. Well, working with Wholesale Trade Lines and Mike, they helped me 100%. I recommend them to everybody. That's everything that I could possibly think of. So like I said, this is just my journey. This is everything that I'm doing, that I've taken, the steps I've taken to get to where I am now. This is the reason why I'm doing these things. It started out, I wanted to buy a GTR. That was a depreciating asset, and now I'm looking into buying real estate a couple months later. that's a profitable asset, right? That's gonna make me money. So I'm growing up, as you can say. 2020, I'm 31 years old. I'm just now finally growing up. So I want my money to make me money. So you guys, any questions? You guys have any questions? Leave them in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please don't forget to like that smash button. And yes, I said like that smash button. Make sure you guys subscribe and like that smash button. And that's pretty much it.
Yep, it's made with bits of real panther, so you know it's good. It's quite pungent. Oh yeah. It stings the nostrils. In a good way. Yeah. Brian, I'm gonna be honest with you, that smells like pure gasoline.
60% of the time, it works. Every time.
That doesn't make sense.